homeless.
I experienced oral molestation from my mother's husband.
So I was really angry with God. I've been raped as a kid. You made me born deaf.
I went through drugs, prostitution, and I go to this room with this guy and I can hear people in the bathroom. I was tied up. Every orifice of my body was touched.
Mommy's not responsive. She's not breathing. She's cold. I said, call 911. I'm coming home.
Your story touched me. I did get a chance to look over your profile, and I do believe what you went through is going to help somebody else. So before we get into COVID and what transpired with COVID, let us know a little bit about you, your life before COVID even started.
Okay, I'm 63 years old now. My name is Brian Forbes. Before COVID started, I lived in Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
Had a $350,000 house, BMW in the driveway. Lived with my girlfriend, who had a daughter named Emily. She was 9 years old. Loved the girl to death. Before the COVID got bad, I was working as a security analyst for a hotel chain. I don't really want to mention their name now.
Don't mention any names. Yes.
Okay, I'm out of respect for them, But I got laid off, and the layoff turned into a full-time job because I wasn't going back. So when you lose your income, it's like Reaganomics. Right. When you lose your income, you lose the rent. When you lose the rent, you lose the house.
Right.
When you lose the house, the tow truck's in the driveway took the car. I was homeless within 2 months. And yeah.
Wow.
Because me and my girlfriend broke up. She thought that I was inadequate as a man because I have control over COVID, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, what guy does? Nobody. But her rationale was to, go find a job somewhere else. She didn't realize that the marketplace dropped seriously and small business owners actually closed their door because two things were going on. One, they couldn't afford to stay open.
Right.
And two, people were getting sick and people were scared. A lot of people were scared, know? I was scared. I mean, as I seen it growing throughout Oregon, I thought, you know what? This ain't a joke anymore. It's not a joke.
Exactly.
I thought it was a European thing, but then when it hit the United States and swept. So I think I lost myself too during that time, but I was reborn, and this sounds weird. I had to hit bottom to really find out what my values were. And as much as I hate homelessness and COVID, I got closer to God.
Amen.
And I realized something. When you're at your lowest point, God's at his strongest.
Yes.
I sound weird, but I mean, I was an atheist.
No, it doesn't. It's
I wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah. I was an atheist before COVID came. I'd be the first one to tell you, how can one guy create all this? Give me a break. And I would just challenge you on it. And then when I'm laying in a sleeping bag under a tree in the dead of winter, getting rained on, you start evaluating things, I could have hated God. I could have said, hey, look, you know what? You're a caring God. But I realized that I've been to the mountain. I had everything. Right. And I realized that sometimes to enjoy success, you have to deal with failure.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, Brian, I feel, even while you're talking, I can feel just the pain, that you went through. But there, as you said, there is a blessing, in that, because you did find God. I want to go back to first found out you had COVID. And I know during that time, and I'm being honest, I was petrified. I was so afraid. I was afraid of taking the test, honestly, because when I looked at how long that Q-tip was, and I was like, they're sticking it to your brain. They're sticking it to your brain. So I'm telling you, I was just petrified. But it became one point, and if we can remember in 2020, as we watched the numbers and as we watched the media show how the nursing homes were cleaned out, how people, and how every time you went on social media, somebody had passed away. It just became overwhelming. Go back to the day that you found out that your test was positive, and what was your experience having COVID?
Well, it was like a bacterial infection. I don't know if you ever, like, it's like your system shuts down. You're weak. Your eyes are red and sometimes yellowish. The breathing is heavier. Your activities are so limited now because you feel drained. And then you realize you're closer to death than you ever been before. That was my mindset. I said, I'm 63. I'm going to die from something that started in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I thought I'd die in my sleep, being just an old guy. But, I said, I still have
Did
a
you
lot
feel
of.
at one point that you wasn't gonna get better? Did you feel like,
Well,
did you have a day that you felt like, okay, this possibly may be my last day?
yes, the day that I checked myself into the hospital.
What
And
was
did you ever
that
see the
experience?
movie Outbreak? Did you ever see that movie Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman? They're all wearing their space suits,
Yes,
and they're coming
did
up
see
to you like you're
Mhm.
from another planet.
Right.
The tents and all. I
Yes.
remember, it was just, and then the plastic over your bed, like you're the boy in a bubble,
Right.
and it's scary. That was more intimidating. That made me feel like I was going to die, just visually seeing the seriousness of it.
Right.
I thought this ain't the flu where you can snap out of it.
Right.
16 days. All right,
Hmm.
16 days. But the 16th day I left. So that's when I realized I was okay. When
Yes.
they wheeled me out and I got away from everything, and I had a clean bill of health. And luckily, I had a strong immune system. Thank God. I don't know why, but a lot of people are younger than me die, and I never understood how a teenager could die from
Right.
that. You would think they would have all this, and here I am, 63 years old, and I smoke cigarettes, and I don't drink or anything. But what gives me the right to live over someone that I thought was more deserving?
Right.
I made peace with God in bed, and I think it was a coward's way out because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my heart was in it all the way, but people, they try to cling on to hope and stuff in order to think that they have a chance to maybe survive. And I just wanted to know that I was going to go to a better place
Yes.
than where I was at the time. But like the knock on wood, I made it though. I made it.
Amen. And we thank God for that.
Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you.
On the 16th day, when they wheeled you, from the
Mhm.
hospital, when did you actually become homeless? Was you homeless before you contracted COVID, or was it a
Oh,
domino effect after?
okay. While this sounds really, I don't know if it was me. While I was in the hospital, my roommate got COVID.
Mm.
And they quarantined the house. This is true. They quarantined the house, and she didn't go to the hospital, but I couldn't go back to the house. See what I
Wow.
mean? Because she had COVID. I just came. I mean, it's like two ships could crash,
Right.
And automatically, I had to go to Walmart and get a sleeping bag. And that's when it hit me that I could be in a warm bed tonight, but I have to find a place to lay my head outdoors. And that was the worst feeling.
So
I
you
really,
actually had to be outside, outdoors. You had that whole experience of living outside.
for a
So
year,
I
for a year,
heard
yes.
you say you went from a house of $350,000, having what you said, a BMW, and
Yeah.
in the driveway. Now you're outside. I mean, psychologically, where are you now? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? As a man, like for someone that might be watching right now, that may have experienced everything that you experienced, but they're stuck. Maybe they
hmm
haven't found hope or peace. What can you say to them right now that will help them navigate through that?
What you just said, you said hope.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that this is not God's plan, that you're going to be laying outside for the rest of your life and you're going to die. You have to believe that things will get better. You have to just be patient. You got to look. It's not going to happen overnight. Trust me. The government stepped in and saved me. That's what happened. But I had to spend a year being homeless. I was
Wow.
suicidal. I said, you know, I can't do this, and I wanted to take my life. If I would have taken my life, I wouldn't have what I have now. I'm not rebuilding to get everything back I lost. I'm just trying to live. Right now, I'm comfortable, and I learned that less is better sometimes. Less is better. I have less headaches now. I don't have to worry about losing everything. That's what's funny when you accumulate things. Then you worry about losing it, you know?
Right.
I don't have to worry about that. I have nothing now, but I have a roof over my head. I have the basics, and I'm very happy. But what I would tell people is take care of yourself, believe in yourself, believe in God, put one foot in front of the other every day. Wake up. If you're in a bad mood, snap out of it, because you know you have two choices. You can roll over or you can get busy living, you know? So I like to get busy living. You know, who knows what the day could bring you? I woke up one day, went to church. The church offered me a place to live. I just spare the moment, I decided to go to church. You don't know what the plan is. You
Yes.
think you know, oh, it's another day. Yes, it seems like it's another day outside, another day of suffering. There's no end to this, you know. I can't pull out of this, but something will happen. And I can't give you a date when it's going to happen. I can't tell you what time. You just got to stay strong. You know, you have a lot of living to do.
Yes.
Life's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of things out there, you know, and I love to taste life. And I can't taste life if I'm 6 feet under.
Sorry. Where was your family and friends? That's because when you look at going through something like that, you look for somebody, you know, that's gonna really say, you know what, you're going through a tough time. You know, I got your back. You know, I'm here for you. You know, how do an established person, you know, go to being homeless, and the family and the friends, you know, where are they at this time?
Non-existent. First, I never had, my family all died when I was younger of cancer, of different forms of cancer. I'm actually the last of the Mohegans in my family. So
Wow.
that part, I know I miss them all, but that part I don't have to worry about. Let me tell you what happens when you hit bottom. You weed out who their real friends are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Facebook friends, you know, people that call themselves friends, you never even met them, you don't
You
even
call
know
them
their name.
mechanical friends, mechanical
Yeah.
people.
What is that? Facebook friends, you know?
Yeah,
Hey, loan
yeah.
me $5. Nah, go away. So I was all alone, except for one person. When I lived in Texas, I met a bus driver. We
Mm-hmm.
became friends. This guy saved my life more times than I can count. Financially, he supported me here and there. I paid him back. Like $3,500 worth he's lent me, and I paid every penny back. But I needed the money in order to eat, to live, because during the COVID, they shut down food pantries.
Right,
Heck, Starbucks, you couldn't even go there and sit.
right.
And then
Everything was shut down.
everything.
Yeah.
There are no showers, no food, no warmth, you know,
Right.
no outlet, no outlet. I had to go 10 miles to charge my phone. And I was in near the airport, and I had to go to Milwaukee, Oregon, because there was one pole that had an outlet and it had a bench, and I went to charge my phone. And it was just such a grind to get there. And they covered up all the outlets in the mall,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because they don't want homeless bums like me sucking their electricity down. That's what a cop told me once, actually.
Are you
People look
serious?
at you different. Yeah,
Wow.
he told me. Yeah. People look at you differently, especially if you have a backpack. I always tell homeless people never carry a backpack around. You're just a target. So I used to hide my backpack, and then it got stolen. I've had to buy sleeping bags 5 different times at $60 a pop. I've had my backpack stolen so many times. I mean, the homeless to each other don't treat each other that good. A lot of them have drug addictions, so to feed their addictions, they steal. And a true story, I lived it. So I was constantly replacing things. And it was just, I was alone. It was like I might as well have been on an island. And I'd ever be alone in a crowd? Isn't it weird? You're
Yeah.
alone in a crowd.
Wow. Yes.
What is that about? You know what I mean? I'm a nice guy. I mean,
That
you know.
that's that what you said have me thinking.
Mhm.
During that time with you being homeless, and I'm sure you met other homeless people there.
Oh, yeah.
What were you able to, because you're still strong-minded, even though that you went
Mhm.
through that, you was, still in your right mind, you
Right.
still had your right senses. Were you able to talk to someone or counsel someone else that was homeless with you, or you was just homeless and every man for themselves? Did you make any friends? Did you make any associates during that time?
No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why. A lot of them were like I met were career homeless, and I came from upper middle class. Not that I had an attitude, but I just, we were on different roads, different paths. They were more content with their life, and a lot of them wanted to be homeless. They wanted to do their drugs, drink. They didn't want anybody to bother them. They didn't want to pay rent. They didn't want to listen to rules. Me, I had better aspirations, but I did befriend a homeless guy, and he's a guy that he had some mental issues, but he had heart. I'm gonna tell you something, and he was loyal. If you have heart and you're loyal, I don't care if you think you're Genghis Khan. I'll be your friend. And we were both sleeping about 100 yards apart from each other, but we went through the winter time. It was harsh, and we went through some hard times together. And it seemed that whenever I needed him, he was there. And his name is Rodney Green, and we're still friends now. And he's got his own apartment,
Wow.
and I got my own apartment. Yeah, we just met we're hanging out the other day, and we were laughing about the good old days, which wasn't that long ago, about our homeless experience. So it was, yeah, I helped him as much as I could spiritually, financially. I protected him by someone tried to attack him. Sometimes he'd lose his stuff, and I'd help him get some new stuff. And then I said words of wisdom, like don't give up and hang in there. I go, it's you and me against the world. I mean, nobody's going to pull us out of this, So there's strength in numbers.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
two.
And I find your story so inspirational because
Thank you.
I mean, COVID was just a dark time.
Oh,
And a lot of people, they may not have had the recovery, and God have, definitely, showed his favor upon you. And
oh
there are
yeah. Oh yeah.
some people struggling with recovery. But another thing that I'm also thinking about, you went through that, but I'm sure you also was going through the heart issue because your girlfriend at that time left. So now you're dealing with, the health, losing all of the material things, and now losing companionship as well. Now, have you, and don't call her name out, but
Yeah.
have you seen her? Have she contact you? Have she apologized? Or how has that, that relationship, or is the relationship just gone?
It's gone. March 8th, 2020 was the last time I spoke to her. Plus, she let me down as a woman because, when the times got tough, she got going. So, you know what? I was very suicidal that I checked into a psychiatric hospital. I did. And they kept me in there for 3 weeks because I
So
was
when
in bed.
you were suicidal when you was
Yeah.
homeless,
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Because at
Definitely.
that point, you just felt like you lost everything.
I lost love. I
Right.
lost loyalty. I mean, I don't care about the car and the house. I mean, I lost, part of my heart. I lost part of myself. And I wasn't that bad of a guy before COVID. Now I'm kind of like just pieces of what I was, remnants of what I used to be. And I got hard inside. I don't want to be hard inside. I want to be soft. I had to get tough, and I don't want to be tough. I don't. I'm a pussycat. I just don't want to be tough. But you know what? People can make you that way sometimes. Life
Yeah.
can make you that way.
What
Yeah.
advice would you give someone right now that maybe have lost a relationship because of, COVID and the challenges that went on, with them losing jobs or different things? What advice would you give someone right now that's watching you right now?
Well, first off, I would tell them that you didn't lose anything because it wasn't meant to be.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we need tough times to see what if a person will stand behind you. So obviously this person's not right for you, which opens the door for you to meet someone that is right.
Mhm.
And never think about taking your life too. I have to say this right now. Your life is so special and so beautiful. And no matter how low you think of yourself, there's someone out there that loves you, you know?
Yes. And sometimes it takes you to get to a place of death, just to really
Right,
appreciate life,
right,
where you felt that, in the hospital that, hey, I want to live, So
right.
this is your story is touching, Brian.
Thank you.
You seem to be a great guy, and I'm
Uh,
just happy
th-
that you was able to make a recovery. So now
Thank
that
you.
COVID is over, what goals that you have now? Like what's on the agenda for Mr. Brian?
Well, I'm going to have a game show and you'll be my first guest. No, I'm joking. Spin the wheel.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing with you. I got my passport a
Okay.
couple weeks ago. My dream, and I thought about this when I was laying in a hospital bed. I thought I was dying. I said, I've never been to Europe. I said,
Okay.
heck, I haven't even been to Canada. I go, and then I got a passport. I
Mhm.
got that. I got my real ID. That's a joke, but I got my real ID. And I got my own place now. I'm working.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm working part
Mhm.
time. I work for lawyers. I do like groups, and I give them my opinions and all that. And they pay me for my brain. For once, I get paid for that. That's nice. So that's rare, huh? No, but and I'm just trying to enjoy life. I'm trying to stay healthy. You
Yeah.
know, I'm trying to be good for God, and God's been really good to me. And I just got to say something. If you're born and you have everything you want your whole life,
Yes.
then you have nothing. You really
Mhm.
have nothing. You know what I mean? Because you need to experience not what I had to go through, not the homelessness and not the COVID, but what it's like to be afraid and scared.
Yeah. Yes.
And that made me stronger. I think that I lost a lot, but I think I became stronger. I think I care more about people than myself now. Well, I know I
Mhm.
do. I
Right.
think that God's not just a somebody that's just not real to me. He's more real than he's ever been. I would just want nobody to hurt themselves, and I want people to believe that if a knucklehead like me can get through this, anybody can. Trust me. And I became a better person. Now I can help people. I
Yeah.
work with abused women now, and I do volunteer work. So I'm into giving more than getting. That's what my story
Awesome.
is.
Awesome.
Thank
It
you.
sounds like you have taken your misery and made it your ministry. And that's what
That's
it sounds
right. Thank
like.
you. Very
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. When
Well,
they give you a lemon, the old thing, when they give you a lemon,
make
make lemonade,
lemonade.
right?
That's right.
That's right.
Truly, it is an honor, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
so happy to have shared these moments with you. It's
Same
a
here.
pleasure meeting you, and your life story is just an inspiration to show
Thank you.
anyone that's watching. I don't care how far you may drop, or if you hit rock bottom, you can get up again, and that's
Right.
I see someone that got up again and that's about to live, that's about to travel and paint the world.
About the journey. That it's about the journey. And sometimes not about if you're successful, it's about the journey, what it took to get you there. Plus,
Yes,
never stop fighting. When you stop fighting, then you gave up on everything.
Yes.
You know, no one said that life is going to be a cakewalk.
Yes.
You know, sometimes, you know, life throws you a curve. Nobody saw the COVID coming. And then when they did see it coming, I mean, we had to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, let's just hope that we all get through this safe and healthy.
That's
know.
right. That's right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Brian, for
Thank
your
you.
time. I thank you for sharing your
Mm.
story. And for
Thank
those
you.
that's watching, I hope that something that Brian said today in this interview is an inspiration
I
to
hope
you.
so.
And I
I
just
hope I
want to
can help.
encourage
Yeah.
you. Yes, I'm sure someone is encouraged that you don't have to give up. You can continue, because guess what?
Right.
The sunshine will shine again after the rain. So
It's going to shine whether you're standing or laying down. And I
That's
prefer vertical.
that's right.
Wait, what's horizontal? Which one is vertical? Yeah. Okay.